Truck drivers of Reddit, what is your most NSFW story from the road?
Not a driver, but dispatch. One of the crazier stories we had was that there was a driver driving in the middle of the night and an owl went straight through the windshield. It ended up getting stuck in his chest. He was able to pull over and turn on his hazards. His body was found outside of the truck, which looked like he tried putting the emergency cones out. About 20 years ago I was heading down Snowshoe on I-80 in Pennsylvania. Flatbed passed me, and after he got about a 1/4 mile in front of me the brake lights came on and he started swerving all over, ended up in the median, upright but jackknifed into the driver's side. Turns out he hit a bear, which went through the windshield. Bear survived it and went on attack mode. I and 2 other drivers got to him in time to see this bear flipping out inside the cab attacking the guy. Right behind us was a state trooper. He ran up to the truck, yanked the passenger door open and shot the bear twice. Bear turned around and started towards him and he unloaded into it. That guy was tore the fuck up and no, he didn't make it. Not a truck driver but the officer who responded to a semi versus passenger vehicle. Arrived on scene to a frantic scene. Multiple people are yelling and crying. I try to make sense of things and ask if anyone is injured. I hear the voice of a parent yelling out. If you have ever heard someone in person yelling for help with the fear and panic, you'll never see things the same way again. Medics arrive about the time I show up. They start to treat the lady who obviously has a broken leg. I start to make sense of things and get the driver of the semi. I ask if he needs medical, he says no. I go to the vehicles to get ID for the lady who is being combative and not cooperating. I get up to the vehicle where I'm looking for a purse. I look in the crumpled from behind car this lady was in. I see a laptop on the floorboard from what I can make out. Hear sounds of Blue's Clues playing but Joe video. I moved the laptop and was not prepared for what I saw next. The top of the laptop was covered in brain matter and blood. An infant was on the floorboard folded up and mangled, skull obviously crushed. No car seat. Baby was around 2 years old. Place tied the back seat with the laptop on their lap. The force from being hit from behind sent the baby into the driver's seat and laptop screen smooshed the child's skull. I have 100% written child restraint law citation since then. I had just started working for a large corporate company. There was extra money to be made if your first truck or recovery truck someone quits and just leaves a truck somewhere, you get a ride with another driver and pick it up. This truck happened to be on the US/Canada line, at the inspection station. I see the truck sitting there, with this crate strapped to the back on the 5th wheel. It's maybe 4x6x3, which is odd. I go into the customs station. Tell them I am here to get the truck and show them my paperwork. The guy at the desk gives me this "you poor fool" look, and says I hope you have a strong stomach, gives me the keys. I go to the truck and open the door. The smell of shit, and other human body odors, just about knocks me on my ass. This truck is a wreck inside. There's a pile of shit about 2 feet high against the side of sleeper. The mattress is just soaked with piss. One of cabinets was filled with shit. Turns out the last driver was busted when he tried to cross the border with the truck. Got stopped for an inspection. Needless to say, the smell tipped off the inspectors. The better things to list is they found 2 naked women tied up in the sleeper, a loaded .38 special, trafficable amounts of cocaine. Needless to say, he was locked up. The crate on the back of the truck was all his personal effect they were not keeping as evidence. I did not drive that truck back. I have no clue what they did with it. TLDR, tired to recover a truck for some extra cash, turned out to be filled with human shit and piss, and was being used to traffic humans and drugs. Not a truck driver but my dad was. Since he was a long-haul trucker we would go with him during summer break. So one late night in the plains of Oklahoma on a very straight and very long wrong in the distance we could see tail lights switching back and forth, over and over again. We finally managed to catch up and Dad comes across the CB asking if we could pass. A lady comes over and says that we could. Well, apparently there was 3 trucks total. We passed the first truck and it was complete dark in the cab. We passed the second truck. Same thing. Complete darkness. We go to pass the lead truck and it's a woman driver with her titties out and playing with toys. I'm around 13 to 14 at the time. So needless to say I was happy. Well, the lady came back over the CB and asked if we enjoyed the show and wanted to know if we wanted to slow down for another view. Politely my dad said we enjoyed it but was behind. Apparently the 2 trucks in the back were taking turns swapping lanes to get a view. Used to assist in liability claims for trucking companies. What a nightmare. Best NSFW stories involved the multiple times truckers ended up in the back of their trucks trying to score with a lovely lady, who then proceeded to rob them blind and/or steal the cab. We had 2 calls in 1 month involving truckers in Texas where the drivers were found naked in the back of their trucks with no wallets or ID at all. Police were calling us to identify them and figure out how to get them back on the road. One guy lost a full load from Circuit City because he thought it was his lucky day. Didn't matter how many times we warned the drivers or told the stories. SFW was the guy who stopped off at home en route to deliver a load. Found his wife with her boyfriend getting cozy. He walked back to the truck, put it in gear and parked it in their living room. No one died, but try to explain to your insurance carrier how this was an accident. My father-in-law's dad, grandfather-in-law, was driving through a pretty sketch part of New York in the 70s. He was in Vietnam and not the nicest human. I guess there was an area known for truckers getting robbed due to the slow-moving traffic. Just cut your lines and take your shit. He was driving through this area and a dude just hopped up on the steps of his cab. So since he was holding his .45, presumably for this reason, shot the dude point blank in the chest and just kept going. Somehow nothing came of it. Pretty insane in my opinion. Oh no. The video ended. To watch more videos, like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave your stories in the comments.